Right. Very good afternoon to every one of you, all the participants. I, along with the Dr. Subramanian sir, Professor and Head, Department of Political Science and Public Administration, Annamalai University, along with the technical persons, Narmada and Sivanesan, welcome you all to the final day, final session. Today, this afternoon, we have in our midst Dr. A.P. Natarajan. Sir is a senior most faculty member in the Department of Political Science, Annamalai University. Later, he retired. Now he is working as a professor in the Central Law College, Salem. Sir is going to talk on training on effective listening. So, among all the topics, as I told you in the morning itself, all these topics have been devised in order to give an effective response and benefit to all the participants, so as to enable them to get the course a more successful one. After the end of the lecture, as usual, we have a question and answer session. After the session, there are some announcements. So be tuned till the session is over. Now I request and invite Dr. A.P. Natarajan sir to talk on his topic on training on effective listening. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to all the participants of this life skills course, which has been conducted by the Department of Political Science. And I would like to convey, first of all, my thanks to the professor and head of the department, Dr. C. Subramanian. He is the guide of my PhD program. And among all the various scholars selected for this life skill program training course, he had purposely selected myself for conducting this listening skill program and for the students of this online course, purposely because he considers myself as a good listener and having more eligibility to teach this important topic. This is like listening skill training program. Though among all the 8 important topics, the listening skill program comes in the 8th one. I consider this is the first one to be understood by the students, because every student, the first need skill for develop themselves from the student level to the performers, from the student levels to the future leaders, from the student levels to future achievers. This listening skill is very, very important one from the point of view of acquiring all other skills through this listening skill. So far, in this life skill program, scholars, various colleges, various universities from different angles of Tamil Nadu conducted so many life skill programs like personality development by means of self-analysis, attitude, and motivation. And the second topic was communication skill by writing and non-verbal means. Thirdly, they had discussed about some decision-making process and its importance. Fourthly, Dr. Saktivel gave the topic of time management skill for career building. And fifthly, scholars discussed about how to prepare for the competitive examinations. Sixthly, a scholar gave a very interesting lecture on strategies and prerequisites for success. And seventhly, there was a discussion about training on stress management. And now, in the last session, I'm going to give you an important life skill, that is listening skill. In this life skill program, we are going to discuss about significance of listening skill, types of listening skills, various features of listening skill, various process of listening skill, techniques of listening, and various barriers that are preventing proper listening, and various benefits after successfully carry through the barriers of listening. All the things we are going to discuss in this lesson. First, I want to convey, my dear students, that if anybody of you wants to learn something, first thing you have to do is you have to acquire a listening skill, because this is a very, very important aspect in all aspects. Listening is the first and most important communication skill. You know, there are so many communication skills, mainly reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Among all the four communication skills, listening is the first and foremost important skill a student should acquire necessarily in his lifetime. The real listening is always an active process. Listening always requires a deep attention on the speaker, because without a deep attention, a listening cannot be completed. So any communication process will not be completed without listening process. So that is why we are very often and often saying that listening skill is the very important one to be acquired by the students. And another important point you have to bear in mind is an attentive listener is also a stimulator for the speaker, because when the listener is going on listening something, the speaker is automatically getting some stimulation and inspiration, motivation by seeing that all the listeners are carefully listening our lecture. So it is a two-way process. As I already explained, listening always comes first on all communication skills, because first from the childhood onwards, without a child who is not knowing about reading, writing, and able to speak, but it can able to listen. So because it comes first of all the skills to be acquired by the individual. The research findings on various universities also prove that 1/4 of our waking time is spent listening. Research shows that at workplace, an average personnel spend about 32.7% of the time in listening, and 25.8% of the time in speaking, and 22.6% of time in writing. So listening occupies more than any other skills, more time and space in our lifetime. Major portions of our communication skill is listening. So there is a picturized explanation that 53% of our communication skill only listening. All the other three, writing, speaking, and reading, are other 47% only. Writing occupies 14%, speaking occupies 16%, and reading occupies 17%. First, you should bear in mind all of our hearings are not to be called as listening. Though so much of things we are listening, all are not called hearings. All of the hearings are not listening. If the hearings are connected with the brain and makes a change in the already existed knowledge of a particular individual, that hearing and that listening can be interpreted as a real listening and real learning process. So hearing and listening, you cannot be confused with the equal. There are so much difference between these two concepts. Hearing is a very narrower concept, while listening is a very broader concept. Hearing is always a simple act of perceiving by your ears only, but listening is an act of active concentration by involving your brain. Likewise, hearing occurs with and sometimes without your consent, but listening is in listening, your brain process the information and transforms the information into knowledge, and all of your important inner mind is working in listening. In ancient Tamil literature also, scholars very interestingly explained the significance of listening skill. In a ancient literature, Pazhamozhi Nanooru, an ancient Tamil literature, its author Puliyur Kesigan clearly revealed the fact that deep listening is always more effective than learning. In his words, Kattalil Ketale Nandru. That means deep listening is always more effective than simple learning. Likewise, in Tirukural, an ancient Tamil literature, an ancient epic, which has been greatly valued by all the Tamil scholars, the author Thiruvalluvar clearly stressed the significance of deep listening in his Kural. Ketpinum Kela Thagayave Kelvial Totkapadada Sevi. That means, even if an individual ear is hearable, it will be not considered as a real ear. It can be considered sometimes as deaf if the ear is unable to listen the message of the heard sound. And what are the listening skills? First, in the listening skill, you have to receive the matter. After receiving the matter, you should understand the matter. After understanding matter, you should respond based on the matter, and then it should be add, or sometimes it should change your already existed knowledge. Sometimes you will add further knowledge. Sometimes it will change your already existing knowledge. If those things are done, that can be called as real listening. And the traits of the listener can be interpreted by taking the first letters of the sentence listen. Listen means L for look forward, I for involve yourself by responding, S for stay on target, T for test your understanding, E for evaluate properly, N for neutralize your feelings. All these 6 elements combined together makes the clear-cut listening. Who is a good listener? All the persons who are listening something cannot be called as a good listener. A good listener learns to detect prejudices, assumptions, adding matters, attitudes, what are truths, what are lies, what are the extra thinking things included in the already existing matters. Everything can be easily detected by the good listener. A good listener is always to respond orally, writing, and also to react both positively and negatively. There are different types of listening one can come across. First one is discriminative listening. It involves identifying between various sounds. It also enables one to differentiate between familiar and unfamiliar language. The second one is pretense listening. It involves more hearing than listening. It means pretending through facial expressions that one is listening when actually one is not. Selective listening, it involves selecting the desired part of the message and ignoring the remaining undesired part of the message. And the fourth one is very important, that is attentive and active listening. It requires that listener fully concentrate and fully understand, and after understand can able to respond and then able to remember what is being said. If these things are done, that can be called as active listening or attentive listening. Next I'm going to discuss about some important 7 ways for improvement of one's listening skills. First one is increasing listening span. A good listener is always try to resist the temptation to interpret and make sure that the speaker has a complete chance to finish his whole message. Second is listening in between the lines. A good listener always try to understand the attitudes, needs, motives behind the spoken words. Thirdly, writing down the key points. It is also very important for completing a full-fledged listening. An effective listener is always prepared to take hints, either in a notepad or in the mobile phone or in any other way. He has to take important key points when the speaker is going on delivering the lecture. The fourth is giving full attention on the speech. It is very important because there are some methods of nodding head, clapping hands, occasionally interjecting to clarify the points, or raising open-ended questions to encourage the speaker to further elaborate its points. All these things will give the listener to full attention of the speech. Fifthly, restating the message of the speaker. When the listener is sure that the speaker has finished his message, he can restate the key points if possible. This activity will give the speaker assurance that his message has been received absolutely. Sixthly, listening for ideas as well as facts. A good listener makes an effort to understand the facts of the speech along with the relevant ideas. Seventhly, there is very important thing is, yes, a listener should avoid monopolizing and dominating the situation. A good listener should resist his inner urge to dominate the situation and to resist his feeling that he know everything about the situation. Even if the listener is very much confident that the speaker is completely misinterpreting a particular idea, he should allow the speaker to have his own way. Then I'm going to give you 10 important tips to help the students for improving their skill of listening. First one is face the speaker or teacher and maintaining eye contact. This is a very important tips because when you are facing the speaker and you are maintaining the eye contact with the teacher, you should be able to listen more. You should be having more confidence in getting ideas directly without any interference. Secondly, being attentive at the same time being relaxed. The student should always listen the subjects by avoiding external distortions, personal thoughts, feelings, and biases, at least during the time of lecture. Thirdly, keeping open mind while sitting in the classroom. Firstly, the student should sit in the class with open mind to receive the message as it is delivered by the teacher. Students should listen without jumping to his own conclusion before the teacher concludes that particular idea. Fourthly, listen the words and try to create picture in their minds. Students should always try to make a picture of the lecture, what is going on by the teacher, based on your past experiences, based on your thought. You should make a picture in your mind so that you can easily understand what the speaker is going to narrate. Fifth tips is avoiding interruptions and avoiding imposing solutions. Interruptions in between the lecture just to show the students additional knowledge on the particular subject will reduce the spirit of the lecturer. Likewise, imposing everybody's situation on the particular topic will distort the lecture and reduce the listening process of the active listener. Sixthly, waiting for the lecturer to pass before asking clarifying questions from the student side. If some students don't understand some points in the lecture, they should wait for a pass by the lecturer and then by raising their hands, getting permission from the lecturer and begin to ask clarification. That will be a good mannerism that will not hinder the continuous delivery of the lecture. Seventhly, asking questions only to understand and not for showing the present of the students. Some students are having a habit of asking questions only to show their presence in the classroom. They should be avoided this because it swallowed the original teaching time and completing the syllabus by the teacher. Further, it will affect the continuous listening attitude of some active listeners who are sitting the other side of the class. Eighthly, trying to feel what the lecturer is feeling. when the students try to feel along with the same spirit and the topic of the particular lecture, the listening capacity of the students will highly increase. For example, if the teacher is teaching about World War lesson, there should be a serious mood in the class about the war incidents. If the class is going on about fascist murder of Hitler and like that, there should be a sad mood from the teacher and the classroom to understand how the fascist murders were taken place in Germany. For example, if the teacher is going on conducting about the pandemic disease of COVID-19 topic, there may be some fear and anxiety mood up in the classroom. So, trying to feel what the lecturer is feeling in the classroom will improve your listening skill. Ninthly, giving regular feedback to the lecturer. The students should periodically express the well-timed or like that of feelings, like that sound. These feedbacks will further motivate the teacher to continue his lecture in a more effective manner. There may be feedbacks like nodding head, clapping hands, etc. Those things are also very necessary for the speaker to motivate himself for further interestingly conducting the class. Tenthly, paying attention to what it is not said to non-verbal cues. At present, other than email, majority of our direct communications are probably non-verbal. In our WhatsApp also, many of our communications mainly with the symbols and gifs. Likewise, in the classroom, also some of the smiles, some eye expressions, some hand expressions, some hand movements, some lip movements of the teacher reveals many points without any verbal sentences. So a good listener should carefully take in these 10 tips to clearly catch all the points of the lecturer and be a whole body listener. That should be very important because when you are listening from your ear, when you are seeing something, when your brain is thinking other thing, it will not helpful to you because your ear should be hearing, your shoulder should be facing, your eyes should be looking the teacher, your hand should be stand still, your you should be calm, and your mouth should be quiet. All these things are very necessary to be a whole body listener in the classroom. Planning listening skill is having 5 important processes within itself. The first process is receiving, that is hearing. The second process is understanding what you heard. The third process is remembering what the teacher explained. The fourth process is evaluating, that is judging whether the teacher explained the factors in a well cleared manner or not. And fifth process is responding according to the lecture. These are all the 5 important processes which are coming under the listening skill. The receiving, it is the first process of any listening process. It is a physical process caused by sound waves simulating sensory receptors of the ear, by which the students are to be attracted towards the subject matter. The teachers should properly evaluate the listening capacity of the students based on the socio-economic background of students in order to increase the listening attitude. The second is understanding, that is learning. This is the second stage of process of listening. This stage or this process is very important because this process is deciding point which determines the success or failure of the listening process. The person who is teaching should always thinking for using simple, normal, and popular words for conveying subject matter to the existing students. Local lingual explanations along with the suitable examples which are relevant to the particular audience is very important for the increasing of listening capacity or listening attitude of the students. Thirdly, remembering, that is recalling. This is the third stage of listening process. The students are not able to receive the subject matter and interpreted the received subject, but also adding this new subject matter along with the already existing subject matters in their mind's storage bank. Taking into account of this storage point of view, the teacher should always deliver correct and up-to-date subject matter to the students. And evaluating, that is, this is the fourth stage of effective listening process. The students are best evaluators of the teacher than anybody else in the educational atmosphere. Because if the students evaluate the subject matter of the particular lecture as no benefit, as irrelevant, they will not be properly listened, and the total lecture will be a futile waste. So this is the very good thing for the teacher, bearing in mind that you should be very simple, you should very explanative, you should be very careful about whether your message has been reaching the student or not. And last, the fifth is responding. This is the final stage of listening process. Proper listening from the students will reveal the success of the teacher. When the response sought, if the students keep complete silence, that reveals the failure on the part of the teacher. The method of recalling the discussed points by the students of that particular session will give confidence, motivation, and inspiration to the teacher. Next, we are going to discuss about some of the barriers of the effective listening. First, I would like to explain the physical barriers. The first physical barriers were noise from the audience. There may be external noises while running the factories nearby the education institution. There may be some defective audio systems to be given by the speaker. There may be some poor environment of the place, and there may be overload of message because the speaker is preparing his lecture for the well educated audience, and he has to give expected to give the audience of ordinary learning and ordinary common people. He has to change the message tone that way, otherwise it will become a overload message. And the time of the sessions, whether it is going to be the first session, second session, or the afternoon session, or the last session, these things are also deciding the success and failure of the effective listening. Coming to the personal barriers from the speaker side, there may be some personal barrier from the teacher. Sometimes the teacher may be some ill health. He cannot able to completely reveal his full personality, full ability of teaching. There may be some wandering attention of the teacher because of some physical personal problems. He cannot able to concentrate what he has prepared in form. And then there is personal anxiety. There may be personal anxiety. There may be unwanted attitude of the speaker. There may be some poor appearance of the speaker, because very important, because when the teacher is not properly dressed, when the teacher is not properly performing his teaching attitude in the classroom, he is doing some different mannerisms by scratching the head and like that of things, the students may distort their attention. So there may be some personal barriers from the speaker side also. Coming to the barriers of effective listening in general are hearing impairment. Sometimes there may be some 200 audience, 300, 150 audience in the whole class. The last benchers cannot be able to hear what the teacher is teaching. And there may be difference between the thinking, speaking rate differences, because the teacher is going on hurriedly explaining his points. The students cannot be able to catch one by one the points. And the third is environmental distortions. Fourth is, as I already explained, overload of message. And fifth is the personal prejudices, preoccupational minds of the speaker and the listeners. And sixth is egocentrism from the side of both teachers and the students. These are all some personal barriers from both the listeners and students' side. Coming to the another important point you have to take into account is nature of session timings and variation in listening. There are variations in conducting classes in the first hour of the forenoon session of the day and the last hour of the afternoon session of the day from the point of view of listening, because student may be very fresh and energetic in the first hour, and they may be getting tired in the last hour. So the listening capacity may be varying between the first hour and the last hour. And secondly, based on the session time, the teacher should add or reduce the contents, and also to start some masala items along with the regular points of the lessons in order to increase the attention of the listening capacity of the students. The current and up-to-date examples of the particular day may certainly increase the attention and listening capacity of the students. So the teacher should be up to date in the current issues. What are the things going on in the society? to attract the students for the listening capacity. Coming to the another problem is problem of handling first hour of the after lunch session issue in listening. Most of the college students usually nowadays are having a siesta mood in the afternoon in the first hour of the post-lunch session. Teachers facing very difficult situations in this first hour of the afternoon lunch session. To avoid this, the teacher should conduct some brainstorming incidents, ice-breaking games, group discussions, quiz competitions from the previous day's lectures, etc. may be conducted in order to increase the listening attitude of the students. The role of teachers in the process of improving listening skill of the dull students in the class is very important because all the students are not in the class are not in the same capacity. There are variations among the students. There is always a difficulty in making the backbenchers to listen all the teaching contents of in a normal class. There may be chances that some adamant students, naughty and mischievous students, willingly sitting in the last row in order to avoid the eye contact of the teacher. An efficient teacher should always care for these students by adopting various love and affection oriented techniques to bring those students into the mainstream of the class. The teacher should always appreciate more the last benches, even for the simple or sometimes for the trivial answers, because to attract those last benches also into the mainstream. This may create some changes in the attitude of those adamant students. The teacher should also enthuse and intuit those students by giving opportunity to come forward to explain very simple answers and made the others to give applause when even for the very small answer of those students. This will increase the listening capacity of the backbenchers. The role of teachers in the process of improving listening the skill. The other thing is the teacher should never humiliate the dull and adamant students in front of the other students of the class, especially in front of the girl students, the boys in the girl students in front of the girl students, boys in front of the girl students. So this will highly humiliate the students and they will be getting pain in their heart. So they will develop a kind of hatredness towards the teacher. The teacher should approach them individually with love and patience and try to win their hearts by adopting proper counseling techniques. The teacher should try to understand the basic problems of those students, their family situation, their circle of friends, which may be needed to address their issues in order to bring them into the mainstream. And poor listening habits of some students are mainly three: faking attention, that they are pretending that they are being attendant and they are not attending, and listening only facts and leaving all the other ideas without taking any hints, and avoiding difficult key points. These are all some of the poor listening habits of some students that should be addressed by the effective teacher to increase the listening capacity of the students. And now, benefits. Lastly, I'm going to discuss about some of the benefits of the effective listening. The benefits of effective listening is that is it enhances the productivity, it enhances the class success and failure, it improves the relationship between the teacher and student, it will avoid the conflict in the education institution, improving the understanding of the students, improving the negation skills of the students, helping the listener to stand out in future, and there may be appreciation from the fellow teachers. These are all some of the benefits of the effective listening. As one important Tamil literature, Tirukural, has very interestingly explained the listening skill that செவிக்கு உணவு இல்லாத பொழுது சிறிது வயிற்றுக்கும் ஈயப்படும். That means if anything is not available to hear and listen, then you can go for taking some food for your stomach. That means the listening is more important than any other thing, even for your food. And another important kural by Tiruvallur is செல்வத்துள் செல்வம் செவிச்செல்வம் அச்செல்வம் செல்வத்துள் எல்லாம் தலை. That means among all the wealth that one person is possessing in his lifetime, the wealth of listening skill is the first and the important and topmost among the wealth of the person possessing. So each and everybody of us should possess the capacity of listening skill. So my humble request to all the students that all of you should develop the listening skill as much as possible. Only after acquiring your listening skill or you can become a learned person. If you become a future leader, if you want to become a future leader, your first need is developing your listening skill of men and materials. So listen and develop. This is a major key of attain your success. Thank you for your listening. Now the session is open for questioning.
Thank you, Dr. sir, for a wonderful speech, and thank you for sparing your wonderful time with us. Now, this session is open for discussion, and the participants who want to get clarification from the source person, they can get clarification. First, I just unmute Aishwarya Lakshmi. Aishwarya Lakshmi, you proceed.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you mentioned the word siesta mood. I didn't get that word, sir. Can you please?
Sleeping, because siesta moods, after lunch, usually people are having some sleeping mood. But students who are in the college, who are in their teenage, after getting lunch, heavy lunch, usually developing a sleeping mood. Sleeping mood in English, other words called siesta mood.
Okay, sir. Please give me some tips for become an active listener.
Yes. I had given you some tips about for the students to develop their active involvement in listening skill and also develop their career in future. Because students who are able to develop their listening skill can only become a scholar in the future, can become a leader in the future, can become a important person to lead others. So listening ability is very important than all other abilities in the life of our human beings.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the
Thank you,
session.
Aishwarya. Now I just unmute Dr. Shyamla. Dr. Shyamla, you proceed now.
Sir, hello.
Tell me,
Sir, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, madam.
Sir, thank you very much for your wonderful session. Especially your PowerPoint is very powerful.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Really, I think it's one of the best PowerPoints so far I've seen. It is really good. And the listening skill is not only important for the students, even it is very important for professionals like me. See, the doctor should listen to the patient properly.
Okay.
Then only he can diagnose. And while I think during active listening, we have to wear the opposite person's shoes and listen. So then only we can get the entire thing.
Yes.
And why listening is most of the time distorted. So how to overcome those distortions? And is it possible to be an active listener always?
Yes. The listeners are distorted because the first thing is the first deficiency in the teacher. Because if the teacher is knowing about the audience, the teacher is knowing about the situation of the class, if the teacher is knowing about the capacity of the students, he has to prepare his lesson. He has to make his content so that it will reach. So if the content is figured out facts, he has to include some examples, he has to include some living examples, he has to involve the students to actively participate, he has to induce the student to ask questions, he should ask the students voluntarily to take part in the discussion. Then only the teaching should not be in a one-way process. There should be two-way process. If the teacher is always ready to take all the students to ask questions, then the class will be automatically become a listening class. The matter will reach all the students. So the teachers, the problem in listening, first it arises from the teacher side, because the teacher should be very careful in preparing the subject contents based on the audience.
So thank you very much, sir. I think we have to preserve your PPT forever, because
yes, madam. Yes, madam. It will be given in the Department of Political Science.
It is very good, and we can refer it very often, sir. Thank you so much. Wonderful, sir.
Subramaniam will give you, because he is
Thank you, Dr. Shyamla. The PPTs will be shared in the WhatsApp group, and you can get the PPTs. Now, just unmute Aishwarya. Aishwarya, you just unmute from your side. You can ask me.
I have a doubt, but
Okay.
thank you for this wonderful thing. And this is what children need, like me. This is what we in high school and everybody need, because very much is there nowadays, and it was so everything. And I would like to also thank the hosts who prepared this 4-day session. It was very nice.
Thank you.
Doubt, and for my doubt, he said that one of the barriers is over. Then when messages apart from this, the message which is from
Aishwarya, you are not audible. Your voice comes and goes. There are interruptions in your voice.
You send
Okay,
the
sir.
doubts in a mail. We'll send the proper answer.
Through chat room, you send your doubt.
Okay. Thank you for your compliments.
Thank you, Aishwarya. I just unmute Sanjeev Sarkar. Sanjeev Sarkar. Pradoshini.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have a small doubt. Wonderful session as usual. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, audible, madam. Please tell me.
Sir, since listening is involved,
Yes.
with our brain, studies shows that maximum attention that we can give is 45 minutes and not above that.
Yes.
So do you have a tip to increase our attention more than 45 minutes? Because usually the class sessions are more than 1 hour.
That will be reduced because in UGC itself, they are going on insisting that an average class should be about within 45 minutes. That will only give benefit to the students. If you are going more than 1 hour session, the students may not be benefited all the teaching contents of the teacher. So, if the teacher wants to enlarge his section more than 45 minutes, his teaching content should contain so many examples and so many incidents along with the subject contents. And in between the class session, the students may be permitted to ask questions. Students may be asked to participate in the discussion. Students may be asked to give their opinion about a particular topic content. Then it can go for 1 hour also. There will be no problem. If it's a one-way session from the teacher, more than 45 minutes, it will not be advisable.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pradoshini. Now I unmute Mohammed Fazil Ahmed. Mohammed, you just unmute from your side. Yes, Mohammed, proceed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mohammed.
Very beautiful presentation, sir. Very informative.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, what is the importance of silent in listening process?
Yes. Because when the audience is silent, then the teacher can be able to present his contents without much difficulties. Yes.
The LISTEN, listen, LISTEN word, same silent word, SILENT consists of same alphabets.
Yes. Good.
Thank you, sir. Very beautiful presentation. Thank you, Department of Political Sciences. Thank you, sir. Very informative section, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. Just unmute Sanjeev Sarkar. Sanjeev Sarkar, you please.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You are audible. Please continue.
Sir, I would like to thank you.
Sarkar, you're audible. Please ask the question.
Sir, my question is how to avoid the external barriers during the session, sir. How to avoid
sessions?
Yeah, how to avoid the external external barriers.
Nowadays, in high education institutions, there are closed and air-conditioned room. There cannot be possible of any external sounds or external factors coming intruding into the class. And if the problems arise only within the class only. So nowadays, for example, some of the education institutions in Tamil Nadu, even the high school level also, they had a smart board, AC classrooms, closed windows, everything are arranged. There is no possible of external sound coming inside the class. There is no external external influence into the class.
Thank you, Sanjay Sarkar, for your valuable question. Oh, thank you, the audiences, participants, for your wonderful participation in the session.
Thank you, all the participants. And in the closing of this session, I would like to convey my thanks to the Professor and Head of the Department of Political Science, Dr. Subramanian, and the co-conveners of this life skill program, Dr. Saktivel, Dr. Balamurugan, and the technical assistants of the Political Science Department. On behalf of all Annamalai University, I would like to thank all the participants, and I would personally like to convey my thanks to the Department of Political Science and Annamalai University. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, U.P. Natarajan sir, for your wonderful lecture on the active listening. So I thank J.P. Natarajan sir once again for his wonderful lecture and sparing his valuable time with us. This is the one announcement, important announcement to all the participants. The link to download the e-certificates is shared in the WhatsApp link. You can just click the link. You can get the e-certificate from the university website. Or otherwise, you can log on to university website. There you can find a notification bar. There you can find a list of online courses. Among them, you select our course. There you have to register. You have to enter your registered email ID. That is the password. Once you enter the registered email ID, you will download the certificates from the university website. So once again, I thank all the participants, and this is the time to express our sincere gratitude to all the persons who are behind the successful conduct of this online course. First of all, let me express our gratitude to the Vice Chancellor for giving us the permission and encouragement to the department to conduct the online courses. Then I extend my heartfelt thanks to the Registrar of Annamalai University for all the logistical support he has extended to us. Very importantly, I thank the Dean Faculty of Arts, Dr. Roma Gopal sir, who has inaugurated the seminar through his effective and thought-provoking speech. I express my sincere thanks to him. Then the Director, Innovation Center. Because of their support only, we are able to download the application forms and the e-certificates. For all this help, we extend our sincere thanks to the Dr. Karunakaran sir, Director of Innovation Center. Then V. Madhiyalakan of the Computer Science Department. Madhiyalakan for the Computer Science Department for all the support and technical guidance during the entire course of this online course. Then I express my sincere thanks to our Professor and Head, Dr. Subramanian sir. It is because of his constant encouragement and support and motivation we are able to organize online courses. This is the third online course in a row during this lockdown period. It is because of the constant encouragement and motivation we get and influenced by the thought-provoking speeches and actions of our head, we are able to organize online courses. So my sincere thanks to our professor and head, the Department of Political Science, Dr. C. Subramaniam sir. Then I express my sincere thanks to all the resource persons, V. Krishnamurthy, Dr. Panichami, Dr. Saktivel, Dr. K. Sindhil Kumar, Dr. Neena Pandey Madam, Dr. Anbu Armugam, and today, Dr. A.P. Natarajan. All these resource persons, you might have known that through their PowerPoint presentation, made sincere effort in order to make the sessions more useful to all the participants. So I thank all the resource persons at this juncture. Very importantly, the technical team, Ms. Narmada, research scholar, Department of Political Science, and Sivanesan, postgraduate student of the Department of Political Science. It is because of the technical support, though they are not seen in the screen, they are behind the screen. So constantly they are working for almost a week to make the program a successful one. So my sincere thanks to these technical persons, and above all, you, the participants, because of your enthusiastic cooperation throughout all the 4 days and your contribution in getting clarification from the resource persons. So thank all the participants and the resource persons and every one of you. Thank you one and all. Thank you.